Hello everyone, today we're going to learn about the fun instrument trombone. So, first thing we're going to learn is how do we get the trombone out of the case safely. First thing you want to do is make sure all your latches are pointing down, and I'm going to have it where I'm showing you, but when you do this you're going to have them facing you. So, first thing is we want all of our latches pointing down like I said. So that way we pull them up. This way when we open the case, nothing falls out. So once we get them all open, we're just going to open the case up very carefully. Inside you'll see two main parts. The slide, which is this top part, and the bell, which is the thing that kind of looks like a bell. Also, we have this little slot over here for a mouthpiece. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take out our slide. It may be locked in there, so we're just going to go ahead and take that out very carefully and set it down in front of us and keep a hold on to it. Next, we're going to take our trombone, the bell of it, very carefully, and we're going to slide it together. So the two parts that slide together is one, this part has a little thread on it on the slide, and then this part has a little screw that might be shaking around a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slide that on there real nice, and then we're going to tighten the screw down on it, and we're going to do the old-fashioned righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, or you're going to be twisting it clockwise to make sure it's nice and tight on there. Now with the trombone, we want to make sure that our slide is about at a right angle, so that way when we're sliding we have all the motion that we need. This way things kind of line up, and it also just kind of looks nice, right? So we're going to keep a hold on to our trombone, and next we're going to get out our mouthpiece. This is what gives the trombone its sound. It's a little bit bigger than the trumpet mouthpiece, but here's how we're going to put it on. We're just going to slide it into the only open hole left, and when we put it there, we're just going to give it a little twist to make sure it's not jammed in there. Next, we're going to close our case up, latch at least one of the latches, if not all of them, so that way it gets put away really nicely. And when you do this at school, it'll be easier because it'll be facing you, or at home when you're practicing. So we're going to just put that out of the way here. Nice. So next, we have our put together trombone. Notice how mine just slide there, so I might need to just tighten my screw down just a little bit more. We want to have it real tight on there. Next, we're going to need to know, well, how do we hold the trombone? So, when we hold the trombone, we want to put our three fingers up like this, kind of have our pinky just off to the side, and then we're just going to kind of have a shape of an L. So that way, when we have it up, we're going to line it up in front of this bar here. We're going to kind of hold it, just arms open, hey, how you doing? Then we're going to take our fingers, we're going to put two of them down through this slot here, and then we're going to have our pointer fingers sliding all the way as far as we can on this bar right here, so that way we have a good strong hold on our trombone. Next, we're going to need to know how to hold our slide hand, so that way we can get a good slide. So the first thing we want to do is just kind of think we want a pizza, like we're Italian and we want to get a pizza, you know, moi. So we're going to hold it up like this, and then we're just going to come through and we're going to grab our slide. We're going to put one finger on top here, wrap it around, not all the way, put it on this bar here, wrap it around to this bar, and then this finger here is going to go down further on the bar, kind of all the way across if we can. So right now I can't move my slide, and that's because some of our instruments are going to have a slide lock on them, and To undo this, all we have to do is just push it up or twist it counterclockwise, so that way it's unlocked, so that way we can slide any way we want. Now, each time we put our instrument down and we're not playing, we want to make sure we lock that back up, so that way we don't lift up and our slide falls out. We want to make sure we always have either our hand on it or the slide is locked. Next, we're going to learn how to make a sound. We want to start with a nice closed mouth face, and then we're going to act like we had something sour. Next, we're going to put our mouthpiece up and blow into it and try to make a buzzing noise by just pushing air through our lips. So we want them tight, but we want our lips a little bit relaxed so they'll buzz. It's kind of hard to do without the mouthpiece, but with the mouthpiece, we get a noise out of it, right? So we're going to put our mouthpiece back in and twist just real gently to make sure it's not locked in there. And then we're going to put the instrument up to our mouth again, unlock our slide, and blow into the instrument. And we have this nice sound of the trombone. And one reason why the trombone is really fun is because, well, why don't you tell me? We get to slide into our notes. Most instruments we have to press buttons, and then next thing you know, we have a new note. With the trombone, we slide into our notes sometimes. So, here's a song that you guys might notice or recognize. Let me know if you do. So, anyone tell me what that is? That's right, it's Star Wars. Now we're going to put our instrument away. So we're going to grab our case, put it back on our laps. Sometimes this is easier just to do everything on the floor, so that way our case isn't in the way, or on a table. First thing we're going to do is slide it. Actually, first thing we're going to do is we have this little spit valve here. We're going to try and get all of our water from blowing into the instrument. It's just hot air. It's not actually spit. It's just like when you breathe on a window and you can fog it up. That's basically what happens to our instrument. So we're just going to open that by pushing it down and blowing very lightly. It gets rid of all that extra water. The first thing we're going to do is take our mouthpiece, just twist it real gently so we're not yanking on the instrument, and put it back in its little pouch over here. Next, we're going to loosen up the screw that we used to put the trombone together earlier, and we're going to loosen it by twisting it counterclockwise. And then this is the same thing. We're just going to real gently slide it and twist it so that way it comes out real nicely. And then we're going to put it back into the big bottom slot here. The slide spot will have your twist locks on it in case you ever forget which slide or which side the slide goes on. Whew. Next, we're going to have our slide and make sure that our slide lock is on, so that way when we're putting it away, it doesn't go flying off. Then we're just going to put that nicely back in the case, and the little spit valve here will be facing up. So we're just going to slide that back down and then twist our little locks on it so that way it doesn't go anywhere. And we're just going to close the case up, line up all of our latches so that way they fall in nicely. Close them down, push them all down, kind of the opposite of what we did earlier. And voila, we are ready to go off to band practice or take our instrument home to go practice.